building your lineups around at the following positions for tonight's 13-game NBA slate.
Holy crap, that's a lot of games.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. So who are you going to build around at center, Garion?
I mean, first, I just want it to be known that a medium is also way too big for me.
Yeah.
That's how in shape I am.
Yeah.
It's really big.
Let's talk about someone who should be in shape because he's been running around a lot the past 5 games, and that is Pascal Siakam, who basically doesn't come off the court anymore. The Raptors basically ran a 6-man rotation in their loss to Miami on Monday night. Maybe that changes a little bit if Gary Trent Jr., who is questionable for this game, is actually available. But right now, Nick Nurse seems very willing to just shorten his rotation in the middle of January, which is not something a lot of coaches would be doing right now. But Siakam has essentially looked like the version of himself from 2 years ago where he was second team All-NBA. His shoulder seems like it's back to 100%. He scored over 45 DraftKings points in 5 straight games, a span of time which he is averaging 40.9 minutes per game. I mean, this is really just a volume play at this point. He's $9,100. The matchup isn't even that great. Dallas's defense has been fantastic across the last 2 or 3 weeks, but Siakam's had a triple-double. Right now, in that same 5-game span, he's not just leading the Raptors in potential assists. He's 8th in the NBA in potential assists per game. He had 5 steals in his last matchup against the Heat. He really just checks every single category right now, and if he's going to continue to hover around $9,000, I think he's just someone you have to consider on every single slate.
All right, Nick, who do you think you have to consider at center?
Well, I know we got the super centers that you're going to be looking at: Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And if you're going to go with one of those guys, I would say Jokic is going to be that guy tonight. But I'm with Garion. I'm kind of going to go in a little bit of the cheaper range, but still at 9.5K. I'm going to go with Cat going up against the Hawks. I know he just went sub 40 DK fantasy points in his last time out, but that's the first time in a long while that that's happened. This game has the highest total on DraftKings Sportsbook tonight, going up against the Hawks, and the Hawks are not good against opposing centers either. They've given up the 8th most fantasy points to centers this season and the 8th most rebounds to opposing centers this season as well, which to me, that's a little more important for Cat too, because now we're talking double-double and getting a little bonus there.
Nick, that is very nice of you to put a few pictures of your dad behind you to honor him.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I got him. It's like kind of like before and after too. It's like a little bit of a glow up, if you will. But I appreciate him. You know, if you can't love him at this point, I get confused with how Zoom works. If you can't love him at this point, you can't love him.